The Center for Molecular and Tumor Virology is hosting their 10th annual seminar on December 2nd in appreciation for the research contributions of Dr. Lindsey Hutt-Fletcher, who is retiring in March.
It's both flattering and rather embarrassing. So it's very nice, a very nice thing for them to do. I started out doing more immunology, looking at the immune response to the virus. It was right at the time where people had begun to understand that there were two kinds of lymphocytes in the blood. Well, there are lots of different kinds we know now, but then we divided them into B cells and T cells. And it had been shown that the virus infects B cells. But when you looked at the blood of people who had infectious mononucleosis, they had a big, big increase, not in B cells, but T cells. And we didn't know what that meant. And so what I worked on was showing that that T cell response is actually fighting the infected B cells. And it's that fight that actually makes you feel sick. And I was going to my first Gordon conference when I'd just finished my postdoc. I was a research associate. And I go up there. My name is sort of ambiguous, right? And my middle name is Marion, which was spelled I-O-N, which is also ambiguous. And so when I got there, they assigned me to my place to sleep, you know, because we all slept in the dormitories. Okay. And I went into the bathroom, and it was a bathroom that was completely open, and there were at least two naked men in there. I said, I don't think this is going to work, because they'd assumed that I was male. And that sort of thing, you know, used to happen a lot in the early years. You know, the old idea that if somebody came into your lab, they'd assume you were the technician or the secretary, or, you know. So it was different in the beginning. I just happened to be here in time when they put the bells in, and our neighbor across the road called out my husband one day and said, "Would you like to learn to ring the bells at St. Mark's?" And Jim said, "Well, I don't know, but I think my wife did that when she was in high school." And apparently the guy across the road had assumed, because I was from Britain, I would be a bell ringer, you know. Just, there aren't that many in Britain. So that's how we got started. What will I do? Well, I can still read science. I don't think I'll stop doing that. And there are, you know, there's a whole world of things to know about. That when you're focused on one thing in science, which you have to be, otherwise you won't be able to make it, that you don't have time to explore. So I'm looking forward to that.